Hello, and today we are speaking about appetite enhancement strategies and meal plan creations. Now, one of the most common issues that people first face when they're first embarking working with Renegade is that once they cut out processed foods and start to implement regular meals, they struggle to consume enough because of lack of appetite. Now, this isn't so much a lack of appetite, more to do with the volume of food. Processed foods are calorie dense but low in volume. However, whole foods are low calorie and high in volume. So, making the switch can feel like you're eating a lot of food and make it incredibly challenging to put away enough food. However, you are in fact under consuming in calories from where you have been at. And a lot of people first, when they think of signing up with PT, is that they're gonna get starved from the get-go. However, if we want to make sustainable results that are more than just fat loss, meaning that other benefits of being healthy and fit, muscle gains, strength gains, improved energy levels, cognitive function, productivity, enhanced habits. List goes on. We need to have food on our sides. Now, what happens when most people diet? They diet too hard, too fast, or other coaches put them in an extreme calorie deficit from the get-go. That might work for a period in time. However, what then happens is if you drop foods low, what do you do when you hit a plateau? Do you drop the foods even lower? Do you risk having hormonal imbalances because you've not got enough food, energy coming in to support those important vital systems? You end up backed against a wall, always trying to chase less food and doing more cardio, doing more steps. That doesn't work. What we need to do is build metabolism, have a strong metabolism, allow your body to balance out with the foods it should be eating, and then cut back from there, giving you a bigger variety of options, not just always cutting calories. Alongside weight training and high protein, that is absolutely crucial. So, if you find yourself struggling to eat enough, we're gonna hit some habits, some tricks you can implement straight away today to improve that. So, first off, let's go for calorie dense foods, right? If you think about it, it is harder to eat 100 grams of grapes than it is to eat 100 grams of raisins, right? If you have 100 grams of grapes, they're going to seem more voluminous than 100 grams of raisins. However, the raisins are going to have a lot more calories in them and going to require a less effort from you to actually eat. You're going to get more calories from the raisins than you are from the grapes. Now, this can apply to any other fruit that is dried. It's obviously easier to eat dried fruit than it is because it's the whole fresh fruit because it's less mass. However, we can take this and apply it to other concepts and start thinking about how can we eat more calorie dense foods and not make it feel like it's any more volume than you're currently eating, because that is an issue. You can just feel like you're too full, you can't eat anymore because you've not got enough room in your stomach. So one secret that you could try is adding legumes, adding beans. Really easy to hide beans in things. Get a load of protein, get a load of fiber, get a load of carbohydrates, and not really notice it's there. For example, if you add beans into a chili con carne, it really doesn't do that much for adding to the volume, but it adds significant calories. Now, you can do this elsewhere too. If you think about it, it's much easier to eat potato wedges than it is to eat rice, because I would rather have homemade seasoned potato wedges that are delicious over sometimes rice that can get a wee bit boring. So we're kind of taking the concept of volume of food and figuring out what is easier to eat. From there, other carbohydrate sources you could have that are calorie dense would be whole grains. So oatmeal, rice, bread, they are relatively calorie dense for the amount of volume they have in them. Picking options that are just hand to mouth. Now, if you think about it, it is easier to eat a burger than it is to eat a steak, because you are literally just hand to mouth eating the burger. You don't have to cut it up. It's a lot more streamlined of a process. Now, you also get additional benefits to having wraps, sandwiches, bagels, pittas, is that they are portable, they're easy to move, they're easy to take with you to work, on the go, fire in the car. The fact that you can eat them without really thinking is one of their beauties. You can throw them back really, really quickly. Now, what are some actual strategies to enhance your appetite and to fit enough food into the day to hit your macros? So, regular eating schedule. Set a timer on your phone for every 3 to 4 hours. When that timer goes off, you know it's time to eat. If you do that from when you wake up to when you go to bed, you'll be able to get 5 to 6 meals in, spread out evenly throughout the day, because it's easier to eat small regular meals than it is to eat 3 large meals. On that, start your day early. Wake up at a reasonable time and start eating as early as you can. Doing so will give you more time to eat, instead of waiting until the evening, realizing that you're massively under in calories, you're massively under in protein, trying to force feed yourself, staying up a wee bit later than you should, trying to just eat, and you've disturbed your nighttime routine, you've disturbed your sleep, you've not hit your macros, you're getting stressed out because you're not doing those things. So just start early. Simple wee tip. When you are eating, hydrate yourself, but use that water to help you get the food down. Use that liquid to help you get the food down. But don't fill yourself up prior to a meal on liquids. It would just make your stomach feel fuller. Try not to drink too much while eating your meal as well. It will just make you feel fuller than you actually are because your stomach has more in it. Flavor enhancers. Use seasoning. Season everything. Absolutely get everything deliciously seasoned. Now, if you have a desire to eat the food, you'll be more inclined to eat the food. Like chicken, rice and veg, plain, boring, it gets repetitive. However, you have really nice seasoned chicken. You have a variety of rices, whether you make your own or it's microwavable, and you have some sauce. You can change the sauce, you can change the seasoning, you can change the rice. That is still an incredibly good meal for hitting macros, but it doesn't get boring because you can change it up every other night. So, actually have desire to eat the food. Now, I have overnight oats or oats in the morning every day, and I'm excited to eat that. It's one of my highlights. And then I have Greek yogurt, protein powder with toppings, with fruit through it, sometimes with cereal through it, and that's my dessert every single night, and I'm excited to eat it. I look forward to that every day. And if you make sure that it's stuff you actually like, then you're gonna eat it. You don't have to make your food boring. don't have to have plain food all the time. Spicing it up and making it interesting will make you eat it. You don't have to cut out all the food you like. You just have to make it fit into your macros. Liquid calories can be a massive help. Whether that's smoothies, shakes, or a clear whey, they all can be extremely beneficial because it's obviously easier to drink calories than it is to chew, to cut in the fork, blah, blah, blah. So you can throw back a drink whether you're hungry, whether you're full or not, you can get it down you. And you can also make them incredibly balanced. If you are struggling to get your macros balanced at the end of the night, a smoothie can be ideal because you can really choose how many carbohydrates are in it. You can choose how much protein's in it, if there's any, and you can choose if you're adding fats. For example, you can determine how many carbs are in it by adding in a certain amount of fruit. You can add protein powder if you need additional protein. You can add Greek yogurt if you need protein. If you don't, take them out. And if you need additional fats, add peanut butter. Add extra virgin olive oil. Add chia seeds. Add whatever that is fatty and a good quality source to help you balance out your macros. So, those are all, actually, one more. After every single meal, go a walk. Go a 5-minute walk around the block. Doesn't even need to be 5 minutes. It can be longer than that, it can be shorter. Go get fresh air, go get your body moving. It massively helps with digestion and helping you just initially start processing that food. It makes a significant difference. If you've ever not done this and then started to do it, you really feel that you are digesting that food a whole lot easier than you normally would be if you stay seated. It'll also help you hit your step goal by doing shortest amount of movement. However, just a couple of minute walk after every single meal is crucial. I do this quite a lot. I do this especially if I'm working in the office all day. It gets me out, it gets me fresh air, it gets me moving, and it helps me not feel like my food is just sitting there. So, meal plan creation to fit your macros. Now, I tend to not build meal plans for clients simply for the fact that you do not learn anything from me just giving you a meal plan. You do not learn how many grams of protein, carbs, or fats are in what food. You don't learn calories. You don't learn how to track. Yes, it gets results, but usually for me, it's a plan B. So I want to share how to build a meal plan to hit your macros. So you know your macro goal is being prescribed for you, and that should be punched into MyFitnessPal or your fitness tracker app. From there, then break down macros per meal. Plan your macros, macro to macro, pre-tracking them instead of just going off what you want to eat. So, to do so, divide your macros by the amount of meals you want. So say you're having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're going to have 2 snacks. You're maybe going to have a pre-workout snack and then a post-dinner snack. That's 5 meals. If you've got a 200 gram protein goal, you know that you're going to have to divide the protein by 5 to know how many grams should be in each. Same with fats, same with carbs. I would make my meals slightly larger than my snacks, but it really is on you. So you can make your meals 5% more macros than your snacks, but it's a really easy way to determine initially. Just divide it by 5 and figure out what works for you through implementation. Then choose whole food options. For proteins, choose lean meats, dairy products, beans, legumes, grains. All excellent protein sources, eggs as well in there. For fats, use extra virgin olive oil, raw nuts, avocados, and then you can also just use fattier cuts of meat because that has excellent healthy fats in it. For carbs, use fruit, vegetables, whole grains. Really, really simple. Doesn't need to be overcomplicated. There is a budget weekly shopping list that you guys have access to. If not, just message me and I'll send it to you. Use meal templates. So you have access to the Renegade Meal Planner, which gives you a breakdown on breakfast, lunch, dinners, snacks, light snacks. They're all low calorie, high protein options. Use these meals, create whichever ones you want as a meal within MyFitnessPal. In that, then add up with the meals that you want, see where that leaves you at the end of each day. Now, you don't have to use the Renegade Meal Planner. You can simply just go to the meals that you normally enjoy eating, meals that you actually want to eat, create them as a meal in MyFitnessPal. Then, adjust portion sizes. So simply just tweak the foods in that meal to meet your macros. If you go off of what you want, you'll have enjoyment, and then just tweak how much of each ingredient is in it until your macros are balanced. So, for example, like increase the protein source, whether you add some more chicken, whether you add an additional egg, or if you have to decrease the fats, remove egg yolk, use dairy or low fat options, increase the carbohydrates, add additional rice, for example. So just play around with the portions so that your macros balance out. Then I like to use my snacks, like I said, to balance out my macros even more if I still need to at the end of the day. So for example, using a smoothie to balance out my macros, or using a Greek yogurt bowl to balance out my macros. Because I know that low-fat Greek yogurt is just high in protein, I can then add additional carbs or fats to it if I need to supplement them. And then continuously adjust. You're not going to get this perfect. It's not going to be 100% all the time. And until you learn, it's going to be a challenge. However, if you constantly review, constantly make adjustments, this is you on the track to learning how to intuitively eat. This is you on the track to really understanding nutrition for the rest of your life. So yes, it might have a short-term payoff of fat loss or muscle gain or whatever it may be, but really it's going to put you ahead of the majority of the population out of understanding what nutrition is. How should you properly fuel your body? What makes you feel good? What doesn't make you feel good? The beauty of having a meal plan and tracking it is that you really become aware of what food does for you. Does that make you bloat? Does it make you gain weight? Does it make you feel slow and sluggish? These are the things that really, really make nutrition tracking beautiful, and the fact that it is going to set you up for life extremely well. So constantly adjust your meals, constantly adjust your macros, constantly adjust based off of your progress. If you're not seeing progress, then something has to change. You're not doing something right, and we have to tweak it in some way. You're either overeating, undereating. We need to change something. And if we have a constant track record of meal planning, then you know what changes to make by determining what steps come ahead. So, thank you for watching. Hope this helps enhance your appetite and help you build a meal plan.